Okay, we are recording.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. At this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phone and other electronic devices. Feel free to move forward and take plenty of pictures throughout today's ceremony. This is a special day. Good morning, distinguished guests, members of the Virginia State University faculty and staff, members of our supporting organizations, alumni, friends of our supporting organizations, friends and Trojan warriors. On behalf of the President of Virginia State University, Dr. Makola Abdullah, Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost of Virginia State University, Dr. Donald Palm, the 27th Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Forrest L. Black, and today's guest speaker, Brigadier General James S. Moore, I would like to welcome you to the Trojan Warrior Battalion's Spring 2021 commissioning ceremony. I am Major Fazari Mutalib, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the official party, the Trojan Warrior Battalion's Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black, today's guest speaker, Brigadier General James Moore, Virginia State University's President, Dr. Makola Abdullah, Virginia State University's Provost, Dr. Donald Palm, the Senior Military Science Instructor, Master Sergeant Christopher Hartzell, and Chaplain Captain Jonathan Dukes. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation given by Captain Jonathan Dukes.
Please pray with me. God, I give you the glory once again for a joyous occasion. I ask that you bless these new second lieutenants so they can serve you in a manner that pleases you. So today we celebrate the sacrifices parents, family members, academic professors, and ROTC instructors made to see that these fine men and women have met the standard and fulfilled the necessary requirements to take the oath of office today to become commissioned officers in the United States Army. I can't help but say thank you, Lord. I say thank you, Lord, for being the same God who blessed these new leaders to finish their ROTC program despite a global pandemic, and that same God will favor them, resource them, empower them, and inspire them to lead soldiers for years to come with strength, honor, discipline, and integrity. Please let this occasion reflect the excellence of Trojan Battalion and the United States Army. May God continue to forever bless these United States of America. Amen.
Please be seated. We will now have opening remarks by the President of Virginia State University, Dr. Makola Abdullah.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to welcome you all here to Virginia State University. To be honest, since we have been in this season of COVID, it is a pleasure to see this many faces in Virginia Hall, so thank you for coming and having your energy. I'd like to especially congratulate those who are getting commissioned here today. For those who are the class of 21 or the class of 20, do we have both or just one? Just one. So we have just one, but I've seen all of these young people grow and flourish as they've been here at Virginia State University, and it is my pleasure to be here to see them succeed on this level. I'd also like to thank our speaker today, Brigadier General James Moore, for coming and being a part of our ceremony, and of course, our wonderful Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black, for all the work that he does with our cadets. Thank you all very much, and again, welcome to Virginia State University.
This year's commissionees have endured years of training, culminating with today's event. They have successfully completed field training exercises, leadership laboratories, and an intensive fitness regimen, along with multitudes of other duties and responsibilities. With support of their instructors, family members, fellow cadets, and mentors, today will mark each commissionee's formal transition from being a scholar and apprentice soldier to a leader of soldiers in the United States Army. To address the commissionees before they make their official transitions is our distinguished guest speaker for today's ceremony, Brigadier General James Moore, who will be introduced by our current Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black.
Good morning, and welcome to today's commissioning ceremony in honor of these 5 outstanding officers in front of me. To the Virginia State University Provost and President, Dr. Makola Abdullah, University Provost, Dr. Donald Palm, Lieutenant General Retired Robert Farrell, distinguished military alumni, Colonel Sabrina Thweet, Colonel Retired Sienna Tucker, family and friends of today's commissioning class, welcome. Today is a culmination of years of hard work and dedication as these soon-to-be new officers embark on outstanding careers in the Army. Our guest speaker today is Brigadier General James S. Moore, and he is no stranger to the Trojan Warrior Battalion. Brigadier General Moore hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and is a 1989 Distinguished Military Graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Information Systems from Virginia State University. He was commissioned as a Quartermaster Officer in the Army. Brigadier General Moore is currently serving as the Chief of Staff for Installation Management Command at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Some of his previous assignments include Commanding General of the 593rd Expeditionary Sustainment Command, Commander 404th Army Field Support Brigade, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington, Commander 1st Battalion 402nd Army Field Support Brigade, Balad, Iraq, and Commander 542nd Maintenance Company, 44th Corps Support Battalion, 593rd Corps Sport Group, Fort Lewis, Washington. Brigadier General Moore is married to Brenda M. Moore of Bloomfield, Connecticut. They are proud parents of 3 adult children, son Devin, and daughters Kyla and Amaya. His complete bio can be found in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Brigadier General James S. Moore.
Good morning. Ooh, we got to get a little excited today. Today's a good day. Good morning. All right. How's everybody doing? All right. I got to make sure I put my glasses on so make sure I got good vision and see everybody out here in the audience. But I do want to say good morning to all of you, the Trojan Warrior Battalion, and all of my fellow VSU Trojans that are out there on the net today. The Trojan Warrior Battalion is a tremendous honor for me to return here to the hill high above the Appomattox on commencement weekend and to be a part of your Army commissioning ceremony. You know, I'm so excited, as I told President Abdullah earlier today, I'm excited, I'm pumped to be here with you in this moment and to share it with you. You know, I miss being here on campus, I really do, especially after the pandemic we've had over the past year. With no homecoming, no CIAA tournament, and I'm quite sure all of you who experience that each year know what it feels, know what I mean. It's great to be back, and this is a great honor and a great opportunity for us to come back for today. Captain Dukes, thank you for the invocation and the blessings that you've bestowed upon these cadets and their families today. The cadets here today are part of a long and distinguished legacy here at Virginia State University. Since the establishment of the ROTC program at Virginia State in 1947, over 7 decades and over 1,700 officers have walked through these doors and earned their commissions through the Trojan Warrior Battalion, including 12 general officers. Before I go too far, and though she couldn't be here with us today, but is definitely watching virtually, I must thank my college sweetheart, my wife Brenda, who's also a 1989 graduate here of this glorious university. She's been on this Army journey with me for over 32 years, from ROTC cadet to general officer, and she's another blessing that's come my way, definitely from my days here at VSU. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Black, for the very kind and warm introduction. I greatly appreciate you and Master Sergeant Hartzell inviting me to attend this ceremony today and be a part of it with you. I want to thank the following individuals for being in attendance today, and some being also virtual. Of course, our university president, Dr. Abdullah, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule and being here today. Dr. Palm, the provost, thank you also for being here today. To General Retired and Dennis L. Vi and his wife Linda, 2 of our outstanding graduates and alumnus of this university, thank you for your continued support to ROTC and VSU and joining us here virtually today. Lieutenant General Retired Farrell, former Army Chief Information Officer and also uncle to Cadet Cardi. Both he and another special guest who contacted me by phone, Lieutenant General Retired Darrell Williams, a former CASCOM commander in Fort Lee, just right up the street. Though they're both Hampton grads, but they're huge supporters of Virginia State University and our HBCU ROTC programs, along with being mentors to me. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here, both in person and virtually. It's truly great to see you. Thank you. We also have on the net Major General Charles Hamilton and his wife Regina, Brigadier General William Thigpen and his wife Tanya, Colonel Retired Jonah McKee, we do not want to forget him, former professor of military science. Thank him also for his love and support of this ROTC program. And then, of course, our VSU boards, members, deans, and faculty. Thank you all for being in attendance and also on virtual. A special welcome, of course, to our VSU Military Alumni Committee. Currently the president is Colonel Retired Mike Harris. Mike couldn't be here with us today, but sitting in for him is Colonel Sabrina Threet, and is also representing him today. And I'd just like to say for each one of the cadets, really want you to, and everyone to know that as part of our VSU Alumni Mentorship Program, each and every one of you are getting assigned an active duty Virginia State University officer that is going to help be your mentor and bring you through this process. It's called being an Army officer. So, you know, I wish I had that when I was coming along, but believe me, it will definitely pay off for you. I also want to thank the Vassar Hurt Scholarship Committee and all the Trojan Warrior Battalion alumni and former professors of military science and staff that are here with us this afternoon and virtually. Especially for you all who traveled here from far distances, thank you for attending this afternoon too. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the battalion's current cadre and staff for all their hard work and training, mentoring, and leading our cadets of today. In today's exceedingly complex and rapidly changing world, the mission of an ROTC instructor in developing our Army's future leaders has never been more important and vital to our nation's defense. To all of the parents that are in the audience, moms, dads, grandmoms, granddads, aunts, uncles, even university professors, or anyone who has played a huge role in the lives of these outstanding cadets, thank you. I know, and I think each and every person here also know, that this couldn't be possible without the work and the support that you all put in and the love to help them achieve what they've achieved today. Please give them all a round of applause. I'd like to share a few thoughts with you about this outstanding leadership program that we all know as ROTC. This exceptional ROTC battalion and the historic university and our great Army that binds us all together. For me, ROTC changed my life. It brought me discipline, it brought me standards, it brought me teamwork, it brought me compassion and caring. It brought all of the great attributes that we are known for today as an Army. I would hope that each cadet now, officer sitting on the stage and out here in the audience, will feel the same way. This has been woven into the very fabric of Virginia State University and our nation. Many of our former cadets have gone on to distinguished careers in government, industry, education, medicine, and also serve as civic leaders. The young men and women who passed through these doors of this battalion during the last 74 years have benefited greatly from the leadership structure, discipline, and the positive environment that this ROTC program provides. ROTC graduates from VSU have also served in every war our nation has fought since 1947, and 3 gave the ultimate sacrifice. First Lieutenant Jesse Bowling, class of 1950. He was the very first graduate of this program, and he lost his life in the Korean War in 1951. First Lieutenant Vassar Hurt, class of 1968, who died in Vietnam in 1970. And Captain Jesse Osbach, class of 2006, who was killed in action in 2012 in Afghanistan. Our Army shall never forget them, and we shall never forget their families. As a special testament to the quality of this program, 12 of the battalion's cadets have risen to the ranks of general officer in our Army. From the class of 1952, you got Brigadier General Alfred Cade, who was the first from this battalion to become a general officer, and Major General Ernest Morgan, who after serving in Korea and Vietnam eventually became the Adjutant General of Washington, D.C. National Guard. Major General Leo Brooks, class of 1954, who's also the father of Brigadier General retired Leo Brooks Jr. and General retired Vincent Brooks, former commander of U.S. Forces Korea. Lieutenant General Alonzo Short, class of 1962, who served as the director of the Defense Information Systems Agency, which ensures communications between the White House, the Pentagon, and our military forces operating throughout the world. Brigadier General Bert Holmes, Jr., class of 1963, a medical doctor who became the first African American in the National Guard to become the state surgeon, Senior Flight Surgeon, and Assistant Adjutant General. Major General Montague Winfield, class of 1975, who became the Commanding General of United States Army Cadet Command, charged with the responsibility of the entire ROTC program with battalions at 275 host universities comprised of more than 30,000 cadets. You also have Brigadier General Sheila Baxter, class of 1978, who became the first female general officer in the Army Medical Service Corps. In the class of 1980s, I think you all know General Dennis L. Vi, who led the U.S. Army Materiel Command, one of the largest commands in the military with a workforce of 65,000 soldiers and Department of the Army civilians, and with an operating budget of approximately $50 billion, with operations impacting nearly all 50 U.S. states and 145 countries around the world. General Vi was the first Signal Corps officer to attain the rank of 4-star general and is the 7th African-American officer to attain the rank of 4-star general. From the class of 1988, you have Major General Charles Hamilton, who's currently serving as a deputy to the Army G4. Brigadier General retired Alfred Abramson, former Program Executive Officer for Acquisition and Commander of Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey. And then in 1989, you have yours truly. And then in 1992, Brigadier General William Thigpen, soon to be the commander of the U.S. Army South at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. So I hope each of you will have such a storied career as those who have come before you. This is an exciting time and a very special day for each of you. You all hail from various parts of the country and the world, leading you here to today. Come from locations such as Brunswick County, Virginia, Ruther Glen, Virginia, Jessup, Georgia, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and even Fuzhou, China. Regardless of where you came from, your road in life led you here to the hill high above the Appomattox as individuals. However, when you depart today, you're going to be a member of a team, a great team, the U.S. Army team. You've earned degrees from across the academic spectrum, from accounting to criminal justice, and from psychology to chemistry. Soon you'll be serving at home and abroad in critical branches like medical service, finance, chemical, and I may be a little bit biased, but my favorite, quartermaster, of course. As I read your bios and backgrounds, I was truly impressed with your investment in academic learning. Among you, 3.9 GPAs, scholarship recipients, National Honor Society awards, and other outstanding academic achievements. You all inspired me and made me feel very good about our next generation of Army officers. I must also say that some of you wrote out on a piece of paper what your future goals are. And I would like to share a few with the audience. And I promise not to say names, but you know who you are. One of you said that my goal in the Army is to travel and make the most out of my experiences. My end goal is to become a counseling psychologist, concentrating in marriage and family counseling, and to be a traveling motivational speaker. And then went on to say, whenever you think about giving up, consider this: the last thing to grow on the tree is the fruit. Or another of you that said, I'm a highly motivated and dedicated person whose biggest dream is to one day make it into a history book for changing things in the world. And then another said, my goal is to make the Army my career and develop or research something for the betterment of the Army and its future soldiers. And lastly, my goal in life was to create generational wealth for my family. So for my son out there in the audience, please make sure that I'm going to remind you of that one later. But this cadet went on to say that their favorite quote is, don't look at being successful as a dream. Look at it as a destination. That way, it's not a matter of if you get there, but when you get there. These are all very profound words from this class of soon-to-be Army officers. If you maintain this path, I am sure that our Army will be in good hands. As a thought about the day, I could remember, what it felt like to be a cadet and sit there where you're sitting at now. And this was back in 1989, so I know it feels like a very, very long time. But, I sat next to lifelong partners and friends, like Colonel Retired Cena Tucker, who's in the audience with us today. I'm the last of my graduating class on active duty, but you all are the future. You're the future leaders of our Army, and you will soon represent less than 1% of Americans who serve in the uniform of our armed forces. When you receive your commission, you'll be part of that elite group. And being part of such an elite group doesn't come easy. It'll come with great responsibility. You'll be charged with leading the American soldier. The soldier is and will remain the centerpiece of our formations. As their lieutenant, their leader, you will be the person to look for leadership and personal example. In all parts of the world where the Army is serving today, lieutenants, yes, lieutenants, are charged with making the toughest decisions imaginable and are entrusted with the very lives of the soldiers that they lead. So what does it take to be not just a lieutenant, but a good officer? I had a phenomenal teacher, leader, and mentor tell me and give me some valuable points to remember. So please, I just ask you all to just bear with me for a second. So first of all, work hard to become qualified, of course, in your career field and branch so that you are a recognized expert. Be immersed in your assignment and totally competent in every detail so you'll earn their trust and earn the trust of your leaders and your soldiers. Second, be professional in your conduct, appearance, and attitude. Give 100% every day and do everything the very best that you can. Use your job knowledge, common sense, and initiative in developing a sound and positive attitude, which will become the foundation of your professional reputation. Third, adhere to and enforce standards and discipline in everything that you do. It's been a tough and demanding, last 10 years, and especially the last year for our Army. And as good as they are, you only have to watch some of the things that we see sometime in the news that strains our soldiers and their families and what they go through each and every day. As a young officer, whether you serve overseas in a deployed environment or on the training grounds of one of our forts, you are in the front lines of maintaining standards and discipline that define our profession. So remember, military appearance and bearing, physical fitness, moral ethics and values, standards and discipline are the cornerstones of our successful units and essential in everything you do. The final point may be very simple to becoming a good officer, but it's probably one of the most important. That's just be a good person. Become the role model that others look up to, the officer that all others strive to become. Our Army, our nation, and our communities need good people, those who focus on others, vice themselves. Just remember, set your goals a little higher, work a little harder, never become satisfied with status quo, guard your reputation and your character, and maintain your integrity. Be humble, don't forget those who have helped you along the way, and continue to believe in yourself. Develop that positive attitude and maintain, and always maintain, your sense of humor. The only other way I could probably sum it up is just, if you forget anything I just said, just remember 3 C's: competence, character, and commitment. No matter what you do in the Army, government, or corporate America, I think I'd be safe in saying that you're going to be judged in that manner. And fortunately for all of you, Your time here at Virginia State University's ROTC program has prepared you to do this. And I know because it certainly prepared me for my career. Becoming a good officer isn't easy, but if you follow some of these points and if you do these things, you'll earn the respect of your soldiers that you're going to lead, the peers you'll serve alongside, and the families and the nations that you will serve. Thank you again for allowing me the distinct honor and privilege of spending this memorable morning with you. To our lieutenants, in a moment, each of you will take your place in that long line of lieutenants who've passed through the Trojan Warrior Battalion and who have served or are currently serving our nation as commissioned officers in the United States Army. Thank you again for choosing this path. I couldn't be more proud to administer your oath this morning, and it'll be an honor to serve alongside you in our great Army. Congratulations, good luck, Godspeed, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Hail State, Army Strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Moore will now administer the oath of office to the commissionees with the pinning and silver dollar salute to follow. Please welcome our commissionees as they move to the stage. Will all officers, current and retired, please stand and join in passing the baton of leadership and excellence as the oath of office is administered. Unveiling rank on a newly commissioned lieutenant is traditionally performed by individuals who have had a positive influence on the commissionee. Family members, mentors, or close friends are usually chosen by the commissionee to pin on gold bars as a symbol of stability and good luck. The silver dollar salute to follow the pinning of the commissionee is a tradition in which the newly appointed officer presents a silver dollar to the first enlisted person to salute them after receiving their commission. The silver dollar salute tradition is a symbolic of the relationship that will always exist through the pairing of NCOs with officers, also symbolizing the exchange of respect and understanding between the officer and NCO to serve their country. Lieutenant Carty, post. Lieutenant Carty has chosen her grandmother, Carol Victorine, her uncle, Lieutenant General retired Robert Farrell, and her boyfriend, Trey Donovan, to pin on her bars. Lieutenant Carty will serve in the United States Army active component as a Medical Service Corps officer. Her basic officer leaders course is located at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Kiwana Carty. Lieutenant Carty has chosen Petty Officer 3rd Class Zakara Goodwin to render her first salute. Lieutenant Chen, post. Lieutenant Chen has chosen Lieutenant Colonel Forrest Black and Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Wilson to pin on her bars. Lieutenant Chen will serve in the Army National Guard component as a Finance Corps officer. Her basic officer leaders course is located at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Wen Chen. Lieutenant Chen has chosen Master Sergeant Christopher Hartle to render her first salute. Lieutenant Easter Colbert, post. Lieutenant Easter Colbert has chosen his father, George Colbert, and his mother, Evelyn Easter, to pin on his bars. Lieutenant Easter Colbert will serve in the Army Reserve component as a Quartermaster Corps officer. His basic officer leaders course is located at Fort Lee, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Javante Easter Colbert. Lieutenant Easter Colbert has chosen Staff Sergeant Promotable Cameron Casey to render his first salute. Lieutenant Sellers, post. Lieutenant Sellers has chosen his parents, Chance and Keisha Sellers, to pin on his bars. Lieutenant Sellers will serve in the United States Army Active Component as a Chemical Corps officer. His basic officer leaders course is located at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Chance Sellers III. Lieutenant Sellers has chosen his grandmother, Sergeant First Class retired Lucille Winston, to render his first salute. Lieutenant Stewart, posts. Lieutenant Stewart has chosen his grandmother, Elaine Jackson, and his mother, Tara Stewart, as well as Major Therese Little, to pin on his bars. Lieutenant Stewart will serve in the United States Army active component as a Quartermaster Corps officer. His basic officer leaders course is located at Fort Lee, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Second Lieutenant Malik Stewart. Lieutenant Stewart has chosen Master Sergeant Christopher Hartzell to render his first salute. At this time, on behalf of the Trojan Warrior Battalion, the newly appointed second lieutenants will present Brigadier General Moore with a small but genuine token of their appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please join me in a round of applause for today's newly commissioned officers. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Army Song and remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please join our second lieutenants behind Foster Hall after the ceremony. There will be opportunities for more photos and a chance to congratulate our newly commissioned lieutenants. This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. You can still come up stage to take pictures though, too.
Stop it, but make sure you post.